I'm filming this video because I had a great question from one of my students, which was if I did anything to balance my stress without movement, without meditation. So I wanted to show you what my little daily management can be, or sometimes my SOS kit, which is not related to a movement practice necessarily or a meditation practice. Some of the things are still in the world of yoga because that's me, that's my lifestyle, that's what I choose to do and how I choose to live. But there are other things that I also bring in, which I'm going to show you now. This is Claria Yoga Life. If you haven't been here before, welcome. My name is Claire. I apply gentle yoga movement practices, mindfulness meditation, specifically to be used for stress relief. There's a lot of stress in the modern world, in how we live. A lot of it has now become chronic stress. So I help people to balance the effects of accumulated stress on a daily basis using really short, manageable, and gentle practices. If you're interested in what I do, I've put my website in the description box below. Jump in and have a look. So let's look at some of these things which I now use on a daily basis or a weekly basis, or sometimes as my little SOS toolbox, which has nothing to do with movement or meditation except for one thing. And I'm going to start with that. This book, which is now very worn and torn, and I've actually gone back to the beginning of it. This is called Meditations from the Mat. It takes you through 365 days of little snippets that do focus on a particular theme from the world of yoga, but you're not actually doing a meditation, you're reading through the little entries. So let's see, where am I at now? I've gone back to the beginning, so I'm on day 17, and you read that little portion which finishes there. So they're short. They can be read in a few minutes. And this one, let's see, is talking about the yamas and the niyamas. But again, even though it is talking about yoga, I'm not doing a meditation, I'm not doing movement, I'm kind of bringing a little bit of that stress relief in a different way. This works for me because I love yoga, everything related to yoga, and I really love what these guys, Rolf Gates and Katrina Kennison, have done in this book. So I really recommend this lovely book here. It's very supportive, and I just have it by my bedside. So that's number one. The next thing, which has nothing to do with yoga or movement, but is using the body and is helping to provide relief, is my gua sha kit. I love this. I happen to have chosen jade because I love the color green. And it's a wonderful way to detoxify your body. And why does that matter with stress relief? With stress, the way the body processes it is it sometimes ends up so strong and so much of it that it begins to turn into toxins, and it actually sits in our connective tissue. It sits underneath our skin. It sits in between all the little muscle fibers. So using tools like this as part of a kind of a bit more of a pampering ritual. It's lovely on the face, so I use these on the face, but also I actually use this particularly on the rest of my body. I like to balance my lymphatic system a little, so kind of like doing lymphatic drainage where you're moving this stone up your body and you're using a particular essential oil. I like doTERRA oils, so I like doTERRA because it's very, very natural, but any essential oil you can bring in that is of a scent that you really like, that automatically has that kind of calming effect on you, that's something that you can bring in to help balance your body in a different way, using a little bit of self-massage, using things like this, just shifting the stagnation that can be caused by stress. That was my number two. The next one, I'm coming back to a little book. I have had this book for such a long time, The Little Book of Calm, and it's it's got all sorts of stains and all sorts of things that show you how long I've had it. And I've actually got a little entry here. It was given to me in June of 1998 by my mother's best friend, who was such a huge part of my life. She's no longer in this world, but she is always in my heart. So this little book, I just kind of randomly open it. I don't follow it in order. So I'll just kind of open the page and there'll be one or two little things that you can read. It's so quick, but it really helps to focus the mind, even just briefly. So whilst the meditations from the mat book is a little bit longer, and you have time to really sort of dive in and process that theme that's being explored, these are tiny little bite-sized inspirations, things that you can just quickly draw your mind towards, and that helps to calm that mental agitation and that mental fog that can be caused by stress. So I love this little book, and it's always with me, and it's so small you can take it anywhere with you. That's really supportive. And you may have other tools like this. I mean, there are now calm cards and all sorts of things that you can actually use to help just bring your mind into a different focus for a few seconds. So I love this one. So the last one I'm going to show you is power thought cards. Now these happen to be from Louise Hay. Now in the world of cards, there are so many. You can get so many different types: affirmations cards, positivity cards, other different types of focus cards. So Louise Hay was an incredible motivational author and speaker, and my mother used to love her work and still does. And so I actually grew up with Louise Hay kind of in the house. There was always a little book, I think it was called How to Heal Your Body. I do have that somewhere, but that book was in our house all the time. So these power thought cards are meant to bring in a particular thought, a positive, inspirational, motivational thought. Now, the idea is that you pick one at random, or you can just go down the deck. But they have a kind of like an affirmation on the front. So this one is, I now create a wonderful new job. And then on the back, it gives you a little bit more to focus on related to that affirmation. And really, it doesn't really matter if it's not relevant to what's going on in your life, because I find that these are just so helpful and supportive to help shift the mental fixation. So let's give you another example, one that I could definitely use right now. My healing is already in progress. And then you can go onto the back and read, what's this say? My willingness to forgive begins my healing process. I allow the love from my own heart to wash through me, cleansing and healing every part of my body. I know I am worth healing. So they're very motivational. They work with realigning those stuck sort of negative mental narratives that so many of us have, and we think of hundreds and hundreds of times a day. So if you think and balance how much the negativity talk is in you, you try and balance it with a little bit more of this type of talk or this type of talk. That is another really supportive way to balance your stress during your day. So those are the types of things that I use. I have popped the links below of some of the items that I know you can still get. I don't get anything from those links. They're not affiliation links, but you may find it helpful to dive into those types of things, or you can search for a few other things that are similar. There is so much other stuff out there. So much support on the internet. So I hope this helps you. Those are some of the items that I find really supportive. Do you have any that you use? Anything that you support yourself with, either on a daily basis or a weekly basis? Do let me know in the comment below, and it may even help somebody else. If you have any questions, you can also pop your questions in the comments below. And remember that what I offer is stress relief on a daily basis. So if you're interested in the work that I do with mindfulness meditation and gentle, short yoga practices, then have a look at my website. It's in the description box below. Please like this video, and by subscribing to my YouTube channel if you haven't already, it helps my content to reach other people who may find it helpful. Thank you for joining me. I'll see you next time.